Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look, if you're on top of this, if you're like a big financial guru, then you're probably a little bit ahead of me on where this is going and what's happening. And it is certainly a bit of a timing issue because this is such a fresh new story that we're not really sure how it's going to transpire. But I did want to pop on here and talk about how this SVB Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, failure could potentially actually be a good thing for the real estate market. I never thought that it would be so in tune to things like this and how this could affect our business. It's wild. So a quick recap of what happened. Silicon Valley Bank, the 16th largest bank in the United States, failed. It went insolvent. 16th. That's big, folks. Much bigger than the regional banks that we have around here. In fact, I pulled up a list of the largest US banks, a list of the US banks in order of basically size, and there isn't one here in the northwest region of the country until Umpqua Bank at number 71. And SVB was at number 16. So if it can happen to a bank that large, then it can certainly happen to any bank, regional bank that we have around here. Okay, so why did it fail? And what does that mean for the real estate industry here locally? Okay, well, we learned about this in grade school, but it's totally okay if you forgot, because I did. Banks take in money from depositors like you and me. You have a savings account and there's some money that just sits in it and, until you need it. Well, except for that money doesn't just sit there. You see, banks are in the business of making money. And so what they do is they take that money that's in the savings account and they go and they invest it through loans or stocks or all kinds of other things, to make more money. Well, what happened was they made some bad investments, to say the least, and they lost some money. Lost a ton of money. Actually, they didn't lose it. They did. But they just didn't realize the losses through some, fun accounting practices, right? You see, for example, when you lose money in the stock market, but you don't sell, you haven't actually lost the money. So if the stock comes back up and then you sell, it's easy to be like, see, we didn't actually lose the money because we didn't realize the loss. So SVB said that their investments hadn't matured yet. Meanwhile, it lost $15 billion. Okay, but aren't banks supposed to have a bunch of money in reserve so that people can still, pull their money out? Yes, exactly. But the problem is, do you remember COVID and the whole toilet paper issue? Yeah. So when panic sets in, people rush to the store to buy all the toilet paper that they possibly can, fearing that it's going to run out. Even though they don't really need 4 or 5 cases of toilet paper, they ran out and bought it all. The problem is then the store's shelves are empty, and then people who actually need toilet paper, they come in later and there's no TP for them. Well, in this case, that's kind of exactly what happened. The shit actually hit the fan and there was no toilet paper for anybody. Sorry, dad joke. Did it work or is it, sorry. So a ton of people all ran to the bank, pulled out all of their money, and boom, just like that, the second largest bank failure in US history. Hey look, I'm not a financial guy, I'm a real estate professional. So forgive me if some of these details aren't exactly on point. In either case, if you are looking for professional and awesome real estate advice, please consider subscribing to this channel. We are week in, week out on the ball delivering some of the most up-to-date local real estate market news. Okay, so now, how does this affect the real estate market? First of all, one could essentially point the finger at the Fed and all of their interest rate hikes for being the cause of this bank failure. I mean, not really, because the bank should have invested better and, kind of hedged their investments and, seen this coming a little bit further down the road. But the interest rate hikes that the Fed have been doing over the last year are a big reason why this happened in the first place. Now, because this bank has failed, there is speculation that these fears could lead to other over-leveraged banks being toppled as well. Meaning people will rush to their bank to start pulling out all of their cash and creating the insolvency. And this could be a massive problem. Will that happen? I don't know. I mean, I certainly hope not. But what this contagion fear means is that the Fed is now less likely to continue raising rates at the rates they have been so that other banks don't also over-leverage and become insolvent. You see, now a week ago, the Fed testified in court that they're going to continue to hammer on the rates, continuing to raise the rates. But this Now this changes things. In fact, the projection was for 50 basis points this month, and now it looks like it's probably going to be more like 25 basis points. And furthermore, experts are now predicting that there could be as much as a 100 basis point reduction in the interest rates by the end of the year. Now, this is a very long way around to say that we are on the cusp of seeing potentially mortgage rates stabilize here in the near future, and even possibly getting some actual good reductions in mortgage rates by the end of the year. Maybe back down to a more reasonable level, which would be fantastic. Which obviously means that buyers would come flooding back to the market. Because right now we have this tug of war going on between all of the demand and the low inventory that we're seeing on one hand. Buyers want to buy, but they can't because the other team on the other side of the rope is these high interest rates. And buyers cannot simply afford to buy a house because of how high the interest rates are. Whew, that was a lot. But like I said, it all comes back to real estate. Because what we're seeing right now is crazy. The market is bipolar. Some homes we're seeing are selling opening weekend with multiple offers. Some homes we're seeing have been on the market for 170 days and no one will touch it with a 10-foot pole. I am telling you, it is so important right now to have the best agents representing both buyers and sellers. We are seeing some crazy stuff out there right now in the market. So on that note, if you are considering buying or selling real estate here in the Central Oregon area, my team and I would love to be your resource of choice. Feel free to reach out to us at krommrealestate.com. We would love to connect. Also, be sure to follow us on our other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, you know the drill. Thanks so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you over in the next video, wherever that's gonna pop up next. Cheers, guys. Thank you. We'll see you next week. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Please subs.